YouTube, what's happening? It's me. It's your boy, the Chicago Bull Man. I'm lying. It's not even my team. This is like, what's going on? It's me, Shamar Moore. Obviously, y'all see me all bundled up because you know it's raining again. I'm filming this the same time as I did the 5 Fine video, but it's mad cold. Well, actually, let's cut that part. I'm not gonna say that. I've actually wanted to do this video for quite some time, and I finally got some time off from school, work, life. So here I am. We are talking today about how I do my work, how I make a YouTube video, how everything flows. This video will be pretty lengthy due to the fact that, you know, a lot of stuff goes into, you know, making a YouTube video. So without further ado, I'm going to take you into the day of how I do a YouTube video from start to finish. Alright y'all, so to complete this whole entire workflow from start to finish, I'm going to show you guys the gear that I use. We are not filming on the main camera right now. We're filming on my backup camera just to show you guys, you know, fully what the setup looks like. Alright, so we have my light here. This is only up for like when, you know, outside is like really dark. So this, you know, acts as my sunlight source. Got a 70 Mark II set up on this Gorilla Pod right here. That's on my desk. But this is basically my desk for, you know, starting up YouTube videos. Normally the camera is right here ready to go, and then if it's not sunny outside, the light is on, and then poof. Now the only bad thing I would say about the 70 Mark II, since it's not made necessarily for vloggers, it doesn't have a flip out screen. So what I would do is I turn the camera on, and then I use my phone's camera source and flip it so that I put it behind here so I can see if I'm in focus, if the lighting is too bright, if I need to change exposure, shutter speed, etc, etc. But besides that, it doesn't take that long to set up. Usually takes about 5 to 10 minutes to do all of this. Now as far as a microphone system, because I know you guys don't see much audio, I would either, if I'm filming from my computer, I would use the brand new 5 Fine 670B and plug it into my laptop, or I would use the Rode mic, which is on my camera now. This microphone that's on this camera is normally on top here. Now the second part, after setting up all the gear and everything is ready to go to press record, before I actually do press record, I actually like to write things down in this notebook that I've shown countless times, whether in where's my camera bag, I mean what's in my camera bag and whatnot. I usually like to write things down because I've realized that over the time in my career as a YouTuber, I used to just press record and then try to figure things out during the camera, which not only took up a lot of memory space, but it kind of killed the mood. So I feel like going into making a YouTube video, or just, you know, going into your own personal workflow, I feel like you should always write things down, or at least have an idea of what you want to do before pressing record. That way you also save, you know, memory space on your card, and also you save yourself time. But yes, not only that I write things down, but once I have a clear idea of what I'm going to do, I usually like to pick an outfit depending on the day. So obviously today in New York, you know, New York is known to be very gloomy. So, you know, today I decided to wear my my fluffy sweater that keeps me warm, and then, you know, I have a hat on because I haven't gotten a haircut in like 3 weeks now. So, you know, but you know, there's certain days where, you know, you guys have seen before where I wear short sleeve shirts, and, you know, I don't have a hat on. It depends on the day, but usually, you know, I don't know if y'all can see it here, but like there's a whole closet over there full of clothes that I could just choose from. I just throw on a random shirt. I actually like to take my time when it comes to picking an outfit for YouTube specifically, because it's like, you know, with the amazing content that I'm giving you guys plus the audio that counts, you also gotta look good. You don't want to come on here and, you know, you look crazy and you look bummy, and, you know, you actually want to like dress up a little bit, just look a little nice. And the final thing before I press record is actually drinking water. I've been drinking water for a while now, but I feel that when you drink water before recording, it actually helps, you know, your esophagus you know, clear up, because you don't want to come on here coughing, or you don't want to stutter, or you don't want, you know, your voice to not sound clear enough for the microphone to pick up very precise. So I like to drink like, you know, a couple gulps of water before actually pressing record. Okay, for the third part of my workflow, we're obviously fast forwarding to the part where after everything is filmed. So let's say, for example, I don't know what I'm going to show you depending on what I'm editing at the time. So whatever it is, I feel like most likely is going to be the 5 Fine second sponsor video. So I'm going to show you guys my workflow from there. I'm going to go into the computer, show how I move in Premiere Pro. I'm not going to give you the whole entire, you know, edit scoop, because that's going to take hours and hours of editing that I'm pretty sure you guys don't want to see. So I'm just going to show you like significant parts within my laptop of Premiere Pro that, you know, helps me to edit. All right, so now we're on the third portion, which is the editing portion of this video. So obviously we're on a laptop now, so we're going to open up Premiere Pro. All right, so normally for these type of videos, I would, you know, after filming, I would take out my SD card and put it into my laptop, you know, to edit straight from the SD card. But since I'm using the SD card to record, and edit at the same time. I basically took the SD card, imported everything into my hard drive to make it a little bit easier, and then started recording again. So I do recommend, if you do want to get into this field of YouTube, the very first thing I think you should buy, excluding like obviously recording gear and lighting and everything, is to buy a hard drive, one that at least has like a terabyte, due to the fact that you're gonna be shooting a lot of 1080p unless you have a 4K. If you have a 4K kind of camera, you're going to be shooting a lot of footage that's going to take up a lot of space, and you don't want to edit straight from your laptop, but you want to edit from your hard drive. So I suggest that if you are actually interested in starting a YouTube and you really want to, you know, improve and make high quality videos, get yourself a nice hard drive that's at least a terabyte or more. All right, so we're in a laptop. You have seen this before, and if you haven't and you don't know how to use Premiere Pro, y'all can go ahead and check out the basics of Premiere Pro part 1. I've already done it, and I'm doing part 2 soon. Just give me some time. But you know, for those who are absolute beginners, you guys can go check that video out. But for this one, we're gonna start a new project since I haven't edited the 5 video yet. Speaking of which, that quality that you're hearing right now, that's that 5 son. But we're gonna call this, did I spell it right? Yeah, 5 K670B. Obviously, we get into the first window, which is what you're always going to see when you're editing, you know, footage. Command I on the Mac, or I think it's probably Control I. I'm not too sure, but you guys can figure it out. So I'm going to go down to where I stored all my footage, which is right here. This is everything. Press import. Give it some time to import. All right, so what you guys are seeing now is how I'm going to start editing the new 5 video. Obviously, it's already up, because the 5 video should be up before this video, but I'm basically just showing you the basics. I'm not going to go into full depth of, you know, everything that I do, but I'm just going to show you guys like certain parts. Obviously, you know, with my workflow, I usually put the clip down first. Actually, I don't even put it onto the timeline sequence. First thing I do is to put it on the source to see if it sounds good, so we could play it real fast. Alright, so this was a test run. I think that was a test shot to see if everything was fine. Let's try this one. Before this video begins, I would like to thank. Alright, so that one sounded good. Normally, because, you know, footage, I like to like prepare myself before actually saying words. I would drag it to the point that I actually start talking. I'm just guessing here. This is not me actually like really going hard onto the editing. But I'm just gonna drag it, see what looks good, see where I stop. I'm guessing like right here is where I stopped, and just drag this on there. Obviously it starts off. Before this video begins. Alright, so I was a little off, but you get the point. And I do this for each clip. That's just, we're kind of moving fast with this. I want you guys to know that this is not how I edit. I'm just kind of giving you guys the basics. So that, you know, when you get into your workflow, you kind of know what I do. More times than not, I don't like to leave my files like this, because then I get very confused. Like if you notice on the left hand side of the import section, it has a bunch of like numbers and letters that comes out straight from the camera into the SD card. So I like to make a folder, considering that with this clip I know for sure that I shot B-roll and I spoke. So what I like to do, I like to call what I spoke A-roll and put it in big bold letters so that I can see it for sure. And then I make another folder and call this B-roll. Then I look at every clip. I know this was a test shot, so this is not needed. We can actually delete this. I know this was speaking, and I just do this for each shot. Whatever shot I see myself in, I know I was speaking in. This is B-roll. Put that in B-roll and close that. This is B-roll. I'm pretty sure this is B-roll too. So yeah, I'm not gonna take you on through the whole list because it takes quite some time. But everything that's B-roll, I put in a B-roll file. Everything that's A-roll or me talking, I put in an A-roll file. That way I stay more consistent with my work. I'm not constantly looking back and forth on which file is which, and I get confused, and then it takes up more time. So to speed up the process, I put things in folders. Another thing that I do that I'm pretty sure not everyone does is to color code each footage. So let's delete this real fast. For my A-roll shots, I didn't put all the files in here, but I'm going to do that obviously after this video. I like to highlight everything that I think is me speaking, right click, go down to label, and change to whatever color I want. What this does is this kind of helps me when I'm putting on a sequence to know what is what. Even though I put things on to a folder in the import file, when I put it into the time sequence file, it tends to still get confusing, you know, when I'm like diving into editing, whether I'm color correcting, whether I'm adding adjustment layers, whether I'm putting sound effects. So I like to make everything, you know, into a color. So Let's actually not choose forest. Well, we can keep it as forest. So all the A-roll shots is obviously gonna be green. B-roll shots, once again, right click. We can make this yellow. Obviously these will be, this is not what was imported into the folders yet, but depending on the type of shoot that I'm doing, so let's say I'm doing a vlog, vlogs tend to have a lot more footage, you know, for certain days, because I like to blend in my vlog days, so it's not just one day built into one, it's more like multiple days. So I'll make a file, I'll make separate folders of like, oh, this was shot October 5th, and then this was shot October 10th, and this was shot October 12th. So each of those would have different color coding, so that I know when I, you know, if I was to ever save the file and come back to it another day, I know exactly what section I'm in based on that color. But there's not much to really talk about editing, because, you know, it's really simple. In terms of, so yeah, in terms of editing, I'm not gonna like really show you what editing goes like, because that takes up way too much time. So if you really want to know what my editing looks like, you guys can go check out the whole Premiere Pro series that I've done and that I'm currently doing now on this channel. So the final thing that I do with editing that usually helps me out, because, you know, editing does take some time, especially if a video is like 10 minutes or more. I usually like to set up my desk. More times than not, I usually like to shower, just to make myself feel good. You know, after editing, it's a long edit, so you want to feel clean, you want to get something to eat, because you're going to be on the desk for a couple hours. This is where water comes into play, or setting up your desk so that, you know, things can flow smoothly. More times than not, I'm like, you know, listening to music in the background, or like I'll have my brother play music, or he'll play music on his own basically, and music will just kind of soothe things down to like help you focus more, because I'm not gonna lie, there's times where I tend to you know, just not focus well enough on the computer. So like I'll edit something for 30 minutes, and then, you know, eventually, you know, my brain gets bored, or like I start to feel like I've been sitting here for too long, so I need to get up and do something. So if you have that problem where like you can't edit for hours and hours in a day, then it's fine. Take a break, save the file, and you know, come back to it. But yeah, it's not like I can't necessarily show you guys right now, but usually I'll have like the speaker that's here, playing some music, I'll have some water, I'll have food next to me, so that, you know, I'm ready to edit for hours and hours without actually like, you know, starting and stopping constantly. All right, and finally we're going to go into uploading and promotions. I'm pretty sure I've like touched upon this in a video that I've done a while ago, which was like how to make a video, I believe so. We're gonna kind of update it here. So basically, once I open YouTube, Google has this thing where like, you know, it automatically signs you in, which I kind of love. But sometimes I like to use Safari as well, but Google Chrome is like my #1 uploading source. You're gonna press that little square button on the top right next to your name. Now YouTube recently updated like their whole upload experience, which I personally found to be amazing. I noticed that my upload time was way faster than before. But if your computer, or for some odd reason you don't see this screen, we could do it the old-fashioned way for today. Basically, you'll grab your file from wherever you exported it from Premiere Pro. More times than not, I have it in my hard drive. Always save your videos to the hard drive. Do not save it on your computer, because that will slow your computer down, I promise. So let's see. Oh, we got Premiere Pro Basics Part 1, right? So you'll just drag it straight on, and it will bring up this screen. It's going to start uploading, right? I'm not going to actually let it go all the way through, because this video was already uploaded. Once it reaches all the way to 100%, it's going to start processing, and then poof, your video is there. Then you could add, you know, the title of the video, and then this is the description box. So you want to type in what the video is about, give a brief description about what you did. And then I have my upload defaults onto my YouTube account anyway, so, you know, if you look on the description every single time, it's gonna say the same thing. It's gonna say, you know, booking for wewantmoore.com. Speaking of which, the website's coming back soon. Give me some time though. And then, you know, it just has the upload defaults like subscribe, and then it shows all my camera, what gear I use, portfolios, follow me on social media, Mart needs to know. Y'all know this stuff. So then I have the tags. Tags are kind of important in YouTube. It almost works like hashtags in Instagram, but basically, if you guys ever notice on my YouTube channel, every time I upload a video, it always has like in a blue icon of #WeWantMoore on the bottom. That's because I always put the tag here, so I guess YouTube realized that, you know, it's my own personal tag. And then on the right hand side, you got like public, unlisted, private, schedule. Each of them have its own meaning. Obviously public, once it processes, it's open to the public. Anybody could watch a video. Unlisted means it's kind of sort of like private, but in a different way. It's almost like it doesn't pop up on your YouTube channel at all, but like only you can see it. Private is kind of the same way. All right, private is kind of the same thing as unlisted, but the only thing is you know, you can send the link to personal people. So like, let's say before putting out to public, you want certain people to watch it, you can send them that link and they can see it because you've given them access to. And then schedule, the last and final thing, which is a tool that I use a lot for especially the need to know. Basically, it gives me the option to upload early, and then I can schedule it for a time to come out. So you guys know how the need to know comes out at 5 p.m. every single Sunday. So as soon as I'm finished with the edit and I upload it to YouTube, I press schedule and I put it up for that time. So yeah, that's basically how the need to know comes out every Sunday at 5 o'clock sharp every single time. And then you can add it to your playlist. I have certain playlists, as you guys know, rants, tutorials, vlogs, top 10 videos, and then the thumbnail, which is what I'm going to touch on in a little bit. But basically, you can press custom thumbnail, choose the photo that you've made, or the thumbnail that you made rather, and then it'll pop up as soon as it is done processing. So we could cancel this because I'm not uploading. All right, so the final thing that I do before I'm done with a YouTube video is actually two things. Is Photoshop. Photoshop is where I make all of my thumbnails. Every single thumbnail that you've seen, I say the beginning of my YouTube to now, is how I make my thumbnails. All right, so I know some people want to know how to make a thumbnail. That's fine. I mean, I'm not going to touch too much onto this. So if you guys want me to make a separate video about this, then I will. Basically, damn, I'm gonna have to teach y'all Photoshop a little bit. All right, so most of my thumbnails consist of like the same basics. Obviously, we have on the, where is it? I should change the name. But basically, it always consists of my logo, which stays on top. So depending on whatever it is, if it's a vlog, it'll say, it'll have my logo in blue, and then it'll say vlogs. If it's a production video, like what's on my camera bag, it'll say the orange logo with productions on the bottom. But y'all get the point. It's my logo. All right, then we start with the title. I tend to stick with the title first, because then it kind of gives me an idea of what picture I want to use, what background I want to go with. Sometimes, there are times, I'm not gonna lie, where I do focus on the color background, so like the rectangle that's in the back, because sometimes color brings something to life. So I tend to press the rectangle tool, and it gives me all these different colors to choose from. So let's say today I'm feeling a light purple, right? And then I'll just drag it, and it'll change to purple. And then I tend to find a Google stock photo that kind of represents the title. So in this case, you guys are seeing guy basics. We have a guy in a suit because we're talking about guys. But in the 5 video, obviously we're gonna look for a microphone. Or in the vlogs are a little different. The vlogs, I tend to, depending on the title of the vlog, I like to, take images from Premiere Pro, like the stills. So if we go back to Premiere Pro real fast, you can actually screenshot an image from the video. So you see this little camera button on the bottom right of the playback screen. It says export frame. Once you click it, you can name it whatever you want, and then you can press browse to send it to, like, let's say you want to put it on your desktop. Send it there, and then poof, it'll export that one frame so that you can edit in Photoshop. So that's what I do all the time, which is based on this guy basics photo, I've gotten this picture from exporting from frame. And then yeah, thumbnails are not really that hard. After I find the Google stock photo, and then I take the picture from Premiere Pro with guy basics, I just typed it out. Part 2, if you guys see the glowing image in the back of the title, what I do with that, after I type it out, right click on it, press blending options, go all the way down to drop shadow, and then you can change the distance, spread, and size. And then if you want the glow to change a different color, just press this little box that has the color on it, change it to whatever color you like, press OK, and it'll change. Once you have all that, place everything in order. So layers really matter. So obviously I can't put the rectangle on top of the picture, because then the rectangle comes on top. Obviously with layers, you want everything to be just right, or you want everything to appear. And then after that, once you have it into your liking, press file, you press export. One thing about YouTube does not allow you to have a custom thumbnail that's over 2 megabytes. So what I do, there's some times where I do edit a thumbnail and it comes out to more than 2 megs. If that happens, you just press smaller file, 8-bit. Granted, it will change up the quality a little bit, but you can't really see it in YouTube. So it'll more likely bring it down to kilobytes, which is like very small. And then you go back to YouTube. Oh, it's not here now, but you go back to YouTube, press custom thumbnail, put your thumbnail on there, and then poof, when it's done processing, you have a video. And the last thing would be towards Instagram or Twitter when you want to promote your video, which I don't think I really need to explain. I'm not even logged here, but I don't think I really need to explain. You can basically take your thumbnail that you've exported and just airdrop it to your phone if you have a Mac, or if you don't have a Mac and you still want your photo, you can just email it to yourself, and then have the thumbnail for you. Just put up the thumbnail on Instagram stories, put it up on your Instagram wall, put it up on Twitter, put it up wherever you want to promote it. And then what I like to do, the way I get the link, you can either get it from your YouTube account itself through the computer, which I really wouldn't recommend, because YouTube, especially for Instagram stories, you can't post Instagram stories through your computer. It has to be through your phone. That's why it's relevant to add your thumbnail to your phone, so that on Instagram stories you can just add it. As far as the link, go to your YouTube app, or you can go to youtube.com on your phone, and just press the 3 little buttons towards the right hand side of the video. Ask to share it. It's gonna say copy link. You copy the link, and then you add it to Instagram, add it to your bio, add it to Twitter, and put it in the tweet. So that is all. That is basically my workflow. This is everything that I do from start to finish. Yes, it does take some time. So if you don't want to do this process, if you don't like editing but you just like filming, you can hire an editor. But if you are like me, who is broke, and you want to do everything by yourself because you are kind of a perfectionist, then yeah, this is it. I hope you enjoyed. I hope that it helped you to create your own workflow. But for now, I'm out of here. Thank you guys for watching. I will see you guys later. Peace.